It is official. The Senate has voted on the stimulus package. Also, 1.5 million people are going to be receiving $1,600 checks this week, and a new disability identified by the administration that may just be getting some people financial compensation going forward. We have a lot to talk about in this video, so let's get into it right away. But before we do, if you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, welcome to the channel, and you certainly want to make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it is going to get very, very interesting from this point going forward over the coming days and weeks, as all of the elements, proposals, and everything else for the next stimulus package will start to be released. We will start to get all of those details, and it may just include a fourth stimulus check, possible raises to benefits like Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, and possibly so many other stimulus proposals and provisions for low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. So make sure that I can keep you updated each and every day with all of this information by making sure that you're subscribed right down below the video. Also, I am back not only to keep you updated, but as your daily advocate and your daily voice to help you out in any way that I can, and to continue to remind Congress that we need additional support for low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. I'm your guy, so thank you so much for your support. Let's get into this one item at a time. So yes, it is official. The Senate held a procedural vote yesterday evening to see if they should start moving forward with the first portion of this stimulus package. Now, this is the same vote that Chuck Schumer held last week, and it failed in the Senate. Do you remember that one? Well, he held it once again yesterday evening, and it passed with flying colors, right? I'm not sure if people say that anymore, but maybe I'm still stuck in the 90s. Either way, it certainly did pass. So this is a great step forward. In fact, the vote passed 67 to 32. They only needed 60 votes. So in other words, they surpassed how many they needed by 7, which is actually pretty good. So here's the thing. All of the pieces of this puzzle for Chuck Schumer are finally coming together. I'm guessing he's feeling probably really, really proud right now. So here's the thing. Chuck Schumer, by the way, is the leader in the Senate on the Democratic side. So yes, he's probably feeling pretty excited right now. Now here's the thing. They need to continue moving forward with all this because they leave on their summer recess next Friday. And here's the thing. Chuck Schumer has made it very clear. He wants to pass this package, which they're moving forward with, and they're very close to passing it officially. Now, he wants to pass this one as well as pass a budget resolution to open up and unlock the privileges for the reconciliation process before they leave next Friday. In other words, they certainly have their work cut out for them over the next week, or a little over a week here. So yeah, they certainly have a lot ahead of them, considering, things are slow. I mean, it's a very slow process as we've witnessed so far. Now, the official text on this vote that they just held yesterday evening is technically not even out yet. They said that it should be out by Monday, but we also heard that last week, right? And it never came this week. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. But they may just be staying into their summer recess a little while to get things all tied up, like kind of tie up some loose ends on this. But either way, this is good. We're so glad that this is finally moving forward, because this is the first step in getting these packages through, because they need to get this one out of the way to satisfy the moderate Democrats. Now, here's the thing. One really quick note. One of the moderate Democrats, Kyrsten Sinema, was actually out in a statement, and she said, yeah, I'm not exactly in support of the $3.5 trillion package. Well, have no fear. The progressive Democrats pounced on her immediately and attacked her for that and basically just kind of let her have it. Well, here's the thing about that. I would not get too worried about it, simply because we've seen this play out before. Moderate Democrats who come forward and say, I'm just not having it. I just don't love it. I'm not going to support it. And then eventually they are convinced, and the way that they can be convinced is by adding in concessions into the bill to satisfy their needs. Let me give you a really quick example of this. The last stimulus package, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that contained the $1,400 stimulus check, Joe Manchin was the one. It was literally right down to the Senate. It was down to the voting process, and all of a sudden Joe Manchin was like, hey, I'm not cool with this. We need to change some things here. So they pulled him aside and said, hey, Joe, what can we do for you? We've got to get this vote. We need his vote. So here's the thing. They basically said, what do we need? Tell us, Joe. So he came forward and said, you know what? we need to eliminate the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits from income so that people can get refunds on that. Well, have no fear. They added that in right in the package. He got what he wanted, and ultimately they passed the package. So I would say, when it comes down to Kyrsten Sinema, I would say that probably the same thing will happen once again. If she's holding out on this next package and says, I'm not loving it, I'm not sure what to do, trust me, they're going to pull her aside and say, what can we do for you? Please, just tell us. We will make it happen. And she'll throw out some kind of concession. They'll add it in, and done deal. They got it done. So I wouldn't worry about it one bit because they can always be convinced. It's all about the money. Seriously, it all comes back to money. So everybody can be convinced with the right amount of money, right? So anyway, I wouldn't worry about it. Next, let's talk about these $1,600 checks that 1,500,000 people are going to be receiving this week. In fact, it is in reference to those unemployment benefits that we just talked about. So those people who filed a tax return prior to March 11th, when the American Rescue Plan was actually signed into law, and who received unemployment benefits last year in 2020, the first $10,200, they do not count as income and it's not taxable. Therefore, 1,500,000 people will be receiving their refunds because the IRS automatically amended their return, and they're going to be sending out an average of $1,600 for those 1,500,000 people. So yeah, if you're one of those people who received unemployment benefits last year, you might just be receiving a nice check in your account this week. So pay attention for that. Next, this new disability. I want to talk about this. This is actually pretty interesting. It is a new disability that has been identified by the administration that may just get you some financial compensation going forward. Do you know what it's called? Maybe you've heard about this. It is called COVID. Some people call it COVID. Sorry, it's COVID. That's embarrassing. Edit that part out. Hey, editor, chop that part out. I'm just kidding. I don't have an editor, so guess what? You're going to see that part. Anyway, so yes, it is called long COVID. So in other words, this is for people who are still experiencing effects of COVID. There's all kinds of adverse like side effects of having COVID at some point, and they're actually identifying this as a disability. So going forward, this may be able to get you some financial compensation if you actually did have COVID at some point and you are still suffering from some of the long-term effects of having that condition. So this is now classified as a disability. Yes. So I'm not really sure what kind of financial compensation may be available, but here's the thing. If it is classified as a disability and you're not able to work or perform work tasks or things like that, you may just be able to apply for Social Security disability. You know what I mean? So I mean it's a disability, right? So if you can't work because of the long-term effects, well, that is a disability at that point, right? And if you can't work because of it, you may just be able to get Social Security disability as a result. Now, again, I would look into this a little bit further before you just go off and start applying for SSDI. But again, you might want to check into it because if that is you, you might just be entitled for some benefits. You know what I mean? So anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. This is something that was just announced by the administration literally a couple days ago. So you know that I'm here every single day to keep you updated with everything going on and do whatever I possibly can to be here for you, let you know about all these other programs and stimulus as far as stimulus checks, potential raises, and or these new classifications like what I just talked about as far as this new disability, long COVID. Said it right that time. All right, anyway, I hope this helps you out to some degree. Just remember, I am here to keep you updated and to help you out in any way I can. Make sure you are subscribed right down below the video, as it is going to get very, very interesting going forward here as we have next on the table this $3.5 trillion package, and all of the provisions of that package should be released here over the coming days and weeks, and it's certainly going to get very, very interesting as we have all kinds of people throughout Congress coming forward with all of their ideas and proposals and everything that they want to add into this package. So it's certainly going to get very, very interesting going forward. So I will keep you updated with everything going on. No need to do the research. I do all that for you, hours and hours of it every single day to boil it all down into these short 10 to 12 or 13-minute videos every single day. So thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate you. Go back and share any of these videos with your friends, family, social media. Check out all the other nearly 1,400 videos. And of course, subscribe. Thanks again, everybody. Have a nice day, and I'll see you again in the next video a little bit later.